Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my usual weekly technical analysis outlook videos in which I will comment on what I think will happen to some FX crosses and equities. As always, before I begin, I want to clarify that this is not a solicitation or recommendation to enter into long or short positions in the names that I will mention in this video, nor do I have existing positions in them. This is not financial advice, and if you're using this content as a guide to trade, you are doing so at your own risk. Alright, let's start. I will begin covering these new names and review them in future videos. I have put in timestamps, so please use them to skip to the names that interest you. I will begin coverage on the US 10-year government bond yield, which I believe to be forming a head and shoulders bottom. It is nearing completion. Closing above the neckline at 4.1990 will complete this bullish pattern that has a textbook target at 4.4630. Falling below 4.1040 will invalidate this bullish pattern. Moving on to Kering, a French company that owns luxury brands like Gucci and Saint Laurent, may be forming a head and shoulders bottom. It is already trading above the Ichimoku cloud, so upside is preferred. A weekly close above the neckline at 346.4 will complete this bullish pattern that has a textbook target at 544.6. Now note that it has a resistance around 430.35 that can reject advances. Alternatively, falling below 283.45 will invalidate this bullish pattern. Next is British American Tobacco. I suspect that it is forming a double top. Downside has already prevailed after price action failed to hold above the Ichimoku cloud. Closing below the support at 3,677 will complete this bearish pattern that has a textbook target at 2,992. But watch out for the support at 3,415 that can bounce price action higher if tested. There is another potential head and shoulders top that is forming in Palantir Technologies. Downside is not yet confirmed, but price action has failed to hold above the cloud twice, so upside bias is a suspect. This bearish pattern requires a close below 147.56 to complete and has a textbook target at 87.69. I am also suspecting the formation of a head and shoulders top in Broadcom, but for this one, I have some doubts due to two reasons. First, there was an unfilled gap over here on the 12th of December. So Broadcom may actually rally first to fill this gap. Second, the second shoulder over here appears too narrow, so I'm not surprised if Broadcom rallies over here to form another shoulder, which would fit the narrative of price action rallying first to fill the gap down before falling thereafter. But in any case, I will stick to the rules. If Broadcom closes below the neckline at 324.05, I will deem this bearish pattern complete, and the textbook target is at 232.86. Over to FX, Euro Kiwi may also be forming a head and shoulders top. Price action is already trading below the Ichimoku cloud, so downside is preferred. This bearish pattern requires a close below 2.0074 to complete and has a textbook target at 1.9467. Rising above 2.0441 will invalidate this bearish pattern. In Sterling Aussie, I believe it is forming a descending triangle, which is a neutral pattern. The outlook will depend on the direction of the break. So if Sterling Aussie breaks above the resistance trend line, it will be bullish. The textbook target is at 675 pips from the point of breakout. Alternatively, a bearish outlook will prevail if Sterling Aussie closes below the support at 1.9997 and the textbook target is at 1.9323. On the flip side is Sterling Kiwi, which is forming an ascending triangle, also a neutral pattern. The concept is the same. Breaking below the support trend line will be a bearish confirmation, and the textbook target is 716 pips from the point of breakdown. Alternatively, closing above the resistance at 2.3524 will turn Sterling Kiwi bullish, and the textbook target is at 2.4240. The last cross for this video is also on Sterling Swiss, which I believe is forming a head and shoulders bottom as well. Upside is preferred since it is trading above the Ichimoku cloud. Closing above the neckline at 1.0761 will complete this bullish pattern that has a textbook target at 110.79. There is a resistance at 1.0950 that can reject sterling Swiss's advance. Falling below 1.0611 will invalidate this bullish pattern. That's the end of my sharing. I will give updates to these crosses and names only when there are meaningful development, and in the next video, it will highly likely be on new crosses and new names. If you like what I'm doing, please help me out by giving me a like, please subscribe and hit the notification button for more videos like this.